they've been witch hunting people for investigating the COVID, and they've been did a video on this. If you look back at some of my gang stalking and witch hunt videos, and there was a guy that got witch hunted just like I did. The idea is that if you are against the shot, then you're mentally ill. That's what they're saying. Okay? So here, let's have a listen to this.
There is a definite assault against the unvaccinated, and you've talked about how even they recommend, perhaps psychiatric medication or something for people that don't want to take a vaccine.
So this has come out recently out of the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Ontario. The college sent out a letter or a memo to all the doctors in Ontario suggesting to them, now so far they're not mandating it, they're just suggesting it, that any of their unvaccinated patients, that they should consider that they have a mental problem and that they should be put on psychiatric medication. So far, it's just a suggestion, but the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Ontario should not be making these kinds of suggestions. This is extremely unethical, and this is a very, very slippery slope. If they're suggesting that people who wish to have bodily autonomy and don't want an experimental vaccine, that there may be something mentally wrong with them, that is a very, very dangerous, slippery slope.
So see, this is how what they do when you have two intersubjective realities happening at once. There's the people that still believe everything the government is saying to them is real, and they're fighting to keep that real, which to me is mental illness. Yet anyone that's trying to show them what's been going on or stood up, they're going to call it mental illness? No, we're at a time when we need people to repent. Who are the conspiracy theorists now? No, these are conspiracy facts, and they're coming out, and they've come out. And the people that stood by and they were tyrants on their families, their communities, their neighbors, their employees, all of that, you have to repent to get forgiveness. I can forgive you, you know not what you do. However, for us to trust and come together in a community, we need to be able to trust each other if something happens again. And if you guys are just going to be encouraged to witch hunt us with the mental health industry, like they've done to me, like they've done to the doctor in one of my other videos, and also what they've done to another guy here. This is in Switzerland, but these are real things happening, and we have to watch. These tricks will come in.
Swiss cardiologist Dr. Thomas Binder describes his experience in a mental health facility. When he was placed there for speaking the truth about COVID-19. As a condition of his release.
Yes, they could not arrest me because I did nothing wrong. They realized this after 1 hour. There was no threat of anybody, and I was not armed, and I had no psychiatric history. Of course, all these allegations of this labeler were wrong. And so they couldn't arrest me. So obviously they tried something else, and they didn't know how to deal with me. So they put me into closed psychiatry. But then they gave me the opportunity to decide. Either you stay here in the psychiatric hospital for 6 weeks to have treated this mania, or you can leave and go home and continue to work, but you must take a medication. And I was forced to take a neuroleptic, and whether I took it or not was weekly controlled by a blood check.
What?
So these are really Soviet-style, GDR-style psychiatric methods.
This is outrageous. So this is Switzerland.
Yeah, all the people that have been talking about gang stalking and the witch hunt that's going around the mental health industry, especially in British Columbia, where you can call in anonymously and call in a mental health thing, which happened to me, and which obviously happened to the doctor that happened here, and in Switzerland also. This is going to become more and more common. I've talked about this in lots of videos, and we have to really understand what we have against us. This group of ignorant people, and ignorant is where evil comes from. Knowledge is where good comes from. And when you look at what's going on, and You know, a stupid person can't be blamed for following this stuff because they were dealt those cards. However, all these intellectuals and all these super intelligent people, ignorant, intelligent people, that is evil. And we need and whether they knew it or not, they have to acknowledge how ignorant and cognitively dissonant they have been. And that's where we can start to live our redemption and start to build back our trust. And that's where they can get back their souls.